Shut up, Mac. Trošku jdeme, pánové, vítám vás u dalšího streamu zase zde. Zdravíčko soudruhu. Opravdu si to nikomu nechyběl. Takže ne. Takže já si připravám svůj Bindhammer. Uvidíme, kdy překročíš tu hranu, protože ty rád jedeš po hraně. No zdravíčko, čiky, jak pak se vede? Hele, podruhé já ti řeknu jednu věc. Ale ty tvoje vtipy už se stávají být dávno vtipný. A vždycky se furt jen opakuješ. A dost. Takže se uklidíme pěkně. Tohle má být klidný stream, ne jako včera, když jsem byl úplně roztěkný. Tak já ti dám opravdu i timeout. Tohle bylo jen porč, musím ti smazat zprávy. A uvidíme se za 101 sekund. Pa. Pak se jinak máte. Co pak jste dělali, jaký máte plány na víkend, povídejte, přehánějte. To je dobře, že žiješ. Nástroj pro hromadné nahlašování, no. Teď mi to na to nebudu šahat. Brayden, Timurko! Můžeš se podívat na to, na tu moderaci, co jsem udělal, a klidně použít nástroj na hromadné nahlašování. Jak uznáš za vhodné? Je to ve tvých rukou. Dej si projít celou historii jeho zpráv. Je to dobrý pokoukáníčko, to musí ti doporučit. Pročíst si historii jeho zpráv. Tak ho zase zapneš. Neměl jsem vypínat. No a jaký pak máte plány na víkend? Jak to, že... Proč pak žádný? No to přece celý víkend. Tak tím někdo, jsem koukal teda z Transformers jak idiot. Ukáž. Ukáž, který díly jsi viděl? Let's check it. Yes, zítra bude nový doktor. Ty to tu nemáš zaznamenaný. Nemáš zaznamenaný ty Transformers. Ty můžeš vidět, co jsem teďka koukal. Jeden seriál sleduji sám, jeden seriál sleduji s matkou. A brzy dokoukám ten jeden seriál a budu moc dokoukávat další. Protože já jich mám rozkoukaných X. A mě to sere, že to mám rozkoukaný. Ono jde hlavně o to, že některý jsem rozkoukal třeba s X-přítelky, některý jsem rozkoukal, jsem dokoukal, když to vyšlo. A pak vyšla nová série a nikdy jsem se k tomu nedokopal. A tak se to prostě nějak nakupilo, že jich tady mám prostě X rozkoukaných. Takže to teďka se snažím. Hele, já ti můžu klidně jakýkoliv doporučit. Řekni mi žánr. Jak můžeš vidět, já mám na seriálech odsledováno víc jak 108 dní, takže myslím seriózní žánr, žádný porno. Ale jestli chceš jako tímhle směrem, ti můžu, jako, pokud chceš něco na tenhle styl, jako volet tohle tématu, tak je dobrá sex education. To bych taky mohl zkouknout. Jako já jsem koukal pár sérií a pak jsem nevím, kde jsem skončil. Aby se ti hodila. Konečně by se vzdělal. Tak řekni žánr kromě porna, který sleduješ. Viděl, že já mám prostě různou škálu, co sleduju. Mezi komedií a animákem. Proč je komediální animák? Jako komediální animák se mi jako první vybaví Rick and Morty, což asi znáš. Potom South Park, to taky znáš. Brickleberry je dobrý animák, docela kontroverzní, byl cancelnut a jako potom ten ti můžu doporučit Brickleberry. No, co tu dál? Family Guy, American Dad, to jsou takový známý mid prostě. Brickleberry it is. Jak říkám, je to dosti kontroverzní, takže se ti to může líbit. Co tu dál mám? By se ti mohlo líbit. Za komedie. Já hodně často sleduju komedie totiž. Ale jako anime komedie? Ty jsou docela vzácný. Exploding Kittens, tak. A co se jde kradnout? Potom je takový mid. Není to ani špatný, ani ne jako super. The Second Best Hospital in the Galaxy, to je takový mid. Co dál? Knuckles. Knuckles to je takový animovaný, ale hraný. A je to taky docela dobrá komedie. Potom by se ti mohlo líbit, protože jsem viděl, že jsi viděl film Ted a Ted 2, tak by se ti mohlo líbit i seriál Ted. Ten je taky stále kontroverzní jako ty filmy a je to dělané jako do seriálu, je to zasazený jako do dětství a já se to slednu za jeden den, ještě s ex. Co tu máme dál? Jo, Legend of Vox Machina. Na to se rozhodně koukni, na to se koukni, protože jak já formuluji o tom D&Dčku, musím konečně vidět tu roli a tu rumku. Jak já formuluji o tom D&Dčku, tak The Legend of Vox Machina je právě předělaná kampaň od Critical Role, což je sdružení herců, daberů a tak. Tak jejich kampaň D&D je to předělaný do anime a je to nejskvělejší adaptace anime. Je to nejskvělejší adaptace anime D&D, co jsem viděl animovaná. Takže teďka nedávno tomu vyšla poslední série, takže to ti taky můžu doporučit. Takže tak. To je tak pár, co jsem teďka vykoumal, že by se ti mohlo líbit. Pár doporučení. No, myslím, že jsem jako v tomhle trošku zběhlej. Jednou bude role, no nic. Myslím, že můžeme přejít do hry. Takže. Jsme v polovině přesně, čekají nás tři případy. Nevím, jestli je stínen dneska. Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment. A až budeš chtít zase nějaký doporučení, dej mi vědět. Já vždycky něco vyhraju pro tebe. Game. Tak, a jdeme hrát. Stream sniping nabírá jiný obrátky. Dneska tu mám Punch Monster. Brazília Nagiban. Co? Já nerozumím tenhle v řeči. Jakým jazykem to je napsaný do píče? A ještě to nebudu otevírat. Brazília Nagiban Cisnalia a Villagon i smrt Gjumoločok top mint 70% anak at odhont en ehes meg adjug hoza. Je to kurva za jazyk? Dublin. To je irsky? Není, to nepokračovat. Rož. Tak to na mě vrvali cigáni na urgentě. Afera v Ebigrang. Dneska ty tomuhle dát 100 jednotek pozornosti, ať neudělám zase chybu, jako jsem udělal včera, když jsem byl úplně roztěkaný a dělal jsem dedukční píčoviny chyby. Je to... Hele, je tam stále tvoje žena, Timure. Hafo.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Já nechci číst nějaký dopis, já chci číst tenhle dopis. Já jsem totiž odsoudil k provozu. kolosální skandál ve vyšších kruzích. Proslulých a obdiv zasluhujících archeolog, chlouba našeho národa, Sir Rodney Bentcliffe, byl nalezen mrtvý. Zločin stal se v římských lázních na Strand Lane, kde se badatel věnoval svému nejposlednějšímu výzkumu. Tím nejotřesnějším na celém případu je fakt, že vrahem byl Rodneyho přítel a kolega Percival Blinkhorn. Hrdlený test je jediným který takový zločinec zasluhuje. Tak se měj.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Nemusíš to furt opakovat do piče. Tak ukáž, co tu máme za dopis.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms. I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
Tak co nám Lestrade píše? Abbey Grange, Marsham, Kent, 30 hodin. Drahý pane Holmesi, velice bych ocenil vaši neprodlenou pomoc v jednom velice podivuhodném případu. Jistě vás budou zajímat podrobnosti. Dámu jsem již propustil, že ostatní však ponechávám, jak jsem nalezl. Prosím vás však naléhavě přijeďte. Ihned, neboť Sira Eustáce zde ponechat nemohu. Váš inspektor Lestrade.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the E.B. monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Tak jdeme do Abbey Grange.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Tak, tu máme
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall. Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall. Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall.
Samý
The
lordi a jeden...
Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
Samý lordové a jeden sir. Jero.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Takže nejdřív vás vyprofiluju. Máte čerstvé modřiny. Asi od manžela bych hádal. Hezký pot. Vás manžel byl?
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
This is Domino.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... Oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw 2 others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were 3, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Ukradli něco?
Did these 3 villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Teď si promluvím s vámi, madam.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
A nejdřív se vás vyprofiluju. Aha.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, To find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Něco se mi na tom celým nezdá. Aha.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
Aha.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Junkers. Pojďme tady na stole. Rodinný podnik kvete. Randallův gang Rodinný podnik kvete. Randallův gang opět na scéně. Nejsou tomu ani 2 týdny, co o sobě tento klan lupičů Randallových dal opět vědět, když násilím pronikl do jednoho ze sidhamských domů. Policie je pachatelům na stopě. Podrobnosti o případu však tají, stejně jako jméno oběti. Vzhledem k tomu, že svědek v loupání poskytl podrobný popis všech 3 podezřelých, dá se předpokládat, že vyšetřovatelé rodinku delikventů vystupují. Dovolíme si touto cestou naše ctěné čtenáře s nebezpečnými zločinci seznámit a připojujeme popis, který máme v době tisku k dispozici. Skupina se trestné činnosti věnuje již delší dobu. Jejími členy jsou 3 rodinní příslušníci, otec a jeho 2 synové. Otec, Jack Randall, je 40 s prošedivými vlasy postavy, je střední. Jack Randall je mozkem zločinecké skupiny a zcela ovládá své syny. Ti jsou si blízcí věkem, rozdílní však konstitucí. Starší syn, William Randall, je vysoký, se širokými rameny a nápadně malou hlavou. Jeho mladší bratr, Melvin Randall, je drobnější postavy a hubený jezd jako hrábě. Podezřelí jsou hledáni pro časté krádeže a vloupání, ale také pro svou neobvyklou násilnickou činnost pirátskou, které se věnovali před svým návratem do Anglie. Buďte na pozoru a střežte si své cennosti.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical
Něco mi na
to
tom
the one
nesedí.
in the Times article.
Podle mě si to přečetla. Loupež byla za svědkou smyšlenou proto, aby... Tohle si myslím.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
My mistress is very tired. Can't you allow...
Pane vocne.
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took place.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
A hunting scene. A hunter's cabin.
Asi to bude rádi
Antique
lovili.
hunting weapons.
Řekl bych, ale jen tak hádám, že rádi lovili. Ale to je jen můj odhad.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. A bottle of wine is missing here. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
To je divný.
The hunting scene.
Další hunting scene.
A deer hunt.
Oni asi fakt hodně rádi lovili.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin.
Nic, jdeme ohledat tělo.
Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. That must be the murder weapon. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
Nic, by tu ještě něco.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
Tak jo. Pak nám to říká, Sir Eustace mohl zemřít po úderu pohrabáčem. Sir Eustace mohl zemřít po nešťastném pádu hlavu na krbový rošt. To zatím nebudu odhadovat. Když bych asi měl. Ne. Úderem pohrabáče. Jak řekl.
The death was instant.
Ukáž. Počkat.
A fur trader's cabin.
Byly tu 3 sklenice.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other 2 are clear.
To je zajímavé. Jako můžu prozkoumat venek, mě mrdne.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there. Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
Já mám pocit, že je to stejné, ale jako je tady uřízli. Těchto skleněnek byli 3 lidé. Jeden z nich má pravděpodobně v oblibě víno se sedlinou. Nic není náhoda.
Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Okay. No tak. Je tenhle. Je tady. To je 17. A jako... Money!
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Sir Erustaci. Váš tělesný a duševní stav mě velice tíží. Vykazuje příznaky jaterní cirhózy. Při našem posledním setkání jste měl krvavé oči a vaše pokožka byla nažloutla. Váš dech je cít stejně jako dech osoby trpící poškozením jater. O plicních abscesech jsme již hovořili. Záškupy v nohách, které jste popisoval, jsou způsobeny změnami v nervovém systému, které jsou pak důsledkem přemíry alkoholu. Stejné platí i pro váš střás. Vaše játra zdála se být při vyšetření nepřirozeně tvrdá, což je znakem postupující cirhózy. Zapomenout nemohu ani na známky ascitu, vodnatelnosti břišní, který se projevuje vypauklým břichem. Bolest pod levými žebry vypovídá o chorobě slinivky. Ta se může rozvinout v náhlý a smrtelný zánět. Váš stav je s hrozbou pro druhé. Míra alkoholu snižuje vaše sebeovládání a zvyšuje agresivitu. Nabízím vám svou pomoc. Léčebných postupů je k dispozici celá řada.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Na tomhle celém se mi něco hrubě nezdá.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
Lady Bracketová se provdala ze syna Eustace krátce po příjezdu do Londýna. Od té doby se zdržovala doma. Je nepravděpodobné, že by se ona či její služebná znali s někým místním. Zatím, ale nejsem si tím jistý.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Interesting. Cyril Eustace se ke své manželce choval hrubě.
This house feels...
Tak jo. Teďka jdeme do Baker Street. Potřebujeme to běhat, potřebujeme dělat analýzu. Tak jo. Jdeme dělat analýzu toho uzlu.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Nůžky? Ne, nůžky to nebyly.
The fibers from this cut appear to be different. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Takže nožem. Ráno bylo přezinuto čistě ostrým nožem a opatřeno lodími uzly. To by mohlo znamenat, že pachatel byl námořník. Ne, neudělá to žádnou velkou dedukci. Tak jo, to by.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's should...
Tak jedeme, to by.
Search, Toby.
A teďka hraju za to bylo. Okay. Jde to, vede to ve. OK. Dveře na hafo. Taky bych chtěl mít, no i když vlastně ne. Když si prostě štěknu a oni se otevřou. Běž ke studni.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Já jsem měl asi zaštěkat i tam to Heidi.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Ještě něco? No tak běž. No došel jsem až na konec. Na začátek teda. Něco jsem minul. Tak běž. Já nevím. Jsem blbej, nebo... Aha, ona vede dál. Tak to řeknu rovnou.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Dobrá otázka. Se jdeme podívat do té kulmy.
This hook might be useful. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
Nebude prázdný. No, takhle. Tak se jdeme podívat teďka na studnu.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Proč by to kradli, kdyby to hodili do stuny? Já myslím, že to randolově nebudou.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
Že to na ně prostě jen chtěli hodit.
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Zločinný motivem byla bez pochyby loupež. Pachatelé se snad chtěli pro ukrytý... Ne, nechtěli. Proč mohla být zástěrkou vraždy Sira Eusta. Ciboli se neměli nikdy najít. Jep. Sir Eusta zavraždil někdo, kdo ho té noci navštívil. Dotyčný také sputali. Je vysoký a silný. Nočním hostem byl pravděpodobně námořník.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Tak si jdeme promluvit. Nechce tam něco říct o tom stříboru?
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship? We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Takhle by měla znít, ale ta paní takhle nezněla. Říkám, na té paní mi něco nesedí, jako chápu, zabili manžela, ale něco mi tam nehraje.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Nic, jdeme najít ty námořníky. Jdeme zpátky na Baker Street, na naši základnu. Uh, 1893. Rock of... Jo. Yes, lodi Rock of Gibraltar. Koráb se vrací. Loď Rock of Gibraltar, nákladní koráb na lince Adelaide Southampton, Londýn, budova Cunard, ulice James Street, Londýn, se vrátila ze své 6měsíční platby přes Indii, Nový Zéland a Austrálii. Na její palubě do Anglie přicestovala slečna Mary Praserová, dědička Praserovy rodiny, která vlastní půdu a cínové doly v Austrálii. Tato pohledná mladá dáma je zastoupená se sirem Eustacem Brackenstallem, jedním z nejbohatších mužů v Kentu.
Here it is.
Takže máme úkol pro Vigilce.
The shipping company, the Adelaide Southampton London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Přesně, že pracuji pro Scotland Yard, tak nízko neklesnu. Vigilce, mám pro tebe úkol.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Tak jo. Na který stůl, asi na tenhle.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Odis Adeline, 6. května, 12. listopadu. Takže ty ne. Příjezd 28. ledna taky ne. 17. května taky ne. 2. března taky ne. Počkej. Odjezd 6. května. Odjezd 17. října, takže to je ještě předtím. Odjezd tady by to mohlo být. Takže.
This list shows the senior officer. Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Tak, co tu máme dál? Duncan Chalmers tam není, Peter Davis taky ne, Neil Harkus taky ne, George Stewart, Frank Willick a Murdoch taky ne. Jdeme dál. 23. října to tu nebyl. 6. května. Ne, to co jsem se dělal, to tu nebyl nikdo. Tady z tohohle nikdo. Tady taky z tohohle nikdo. Takže to může být jenom z tohohle.
This list shows. I do not think that this sailor.
No, takže jsem si to myslel dobře. Takže jdeme dál. Hele má odjezd 23. října, takže už odjel. 2. března se vrací, takže tady taky nic. Jako můžu to tady projít, což asi to po mně chce. Ale ne. To ani taky není. Ne.
I do not. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Jo, takže já mám prostě, já nemám koukat, já chápu.
This officer.
Vole, to děláš moc složitě, ono stačí jen prostě vyhledat ty jména.
This officer is still at sea, therefore This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at I do not think that this.
Ship Henry.
This officer is still at sea.
Je to, takže nám vyšlo jen... Ne, ještě William Portland. William tady.
This officer was on a ship that... Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Pane Vigici. Ne. Já tady seš.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
A nejdřív si ho vyprofiluju. Tím je vážný. Má u sebe nůž.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still
Ha,
don't
ty jsi
see...
It
stejně,
seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Svázal jsi.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
Aha.
Call that
Všechno toto se
evidence?
zapadá. Ano, mělo lodní uzly.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London
Bylo
right now.
přeřešeno
Theory is flawed anyway.
bylo přeřešeno
On the night of
nožem.
the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Mi nesedí, on sedí
Holmes,
jako...
what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
Ale on to
So,
musel
what
být.
then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
On to prostě musel být. Prokázal, že jeho podíl na vraždě je zřejmý. Objevil se hned, jak zjistil, že ohledem dokazuje tím svou vinu. Vrahem je kapitán. Syra Eusta se zavraždila osoba, která ho té noci navštívila. Vrah je vysoký a obratný, pravděpodobně se jedná o lodního důstojníka. Navíc ten úzel byl přeřezaný nožem a on má nož u pasu. Navíc! Byly tam 3 sklenky, ale jenom z jedné pile. On, ten mrtvý, nemůže pít. Ta druhá byla asi ta manželka, ta nepila, já nevím, protože je žena. Námořník pil. A navíc se spolu bavili, tím pádem oni spolu pili, tím pádem oni se museli znát, takže on ho znal z lodi. Jack Rocco je vrah a ty ho a jeho komplice Lady Brackenstallovou předáš spojeností. Vražda byla spáchána severně. Jack Rocco brání ženu před násilným mužem a okolikem. Tato záhada je vyřešená a ty se rozhodl do toho vytajit. Jako... Kdyby to přiznala. Zatknout Crockera.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife, the knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Protože to bude fajn. Aha, můžu odpáchat sebevraždu. Let's go!
You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry, Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case.
To byl docela rychlý případ. Vydáme
Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
Let's go. Sir Eustace zavraždil kapitán Jack Crocker, který toho večera navštívil Lady Brackenstallovou. Snažili se, aby s tím podezření padl na gang Grendelový. Crocker svým námořnickým nožem odřízl Kuslana, kterým ženu svázal. Poté ukryl příběhy do studny, spáchal následný zločin a zasluhuje náležitý trest. Tak já si dáme ještě jeden, aby tenhle stream neskončil, prostě nebyl krátký, hodinu a čtvrt. A zítra to doklapeme.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Ještě tam nejdu nejdřív.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
A ještě si musím vyzvednout dopis. Pane Holmes, dovolte, abych vás spravil o tom, že události z Abbey Grange, ke kterým došlo před více než půl rokem, stále probouzejí zájem vyšší společnosti a jsou předmětem řady spekulací. Romantické pozadí tohoto případu láká mnohé nápadníky, kteří projevují svou ochotu ujmout se Lady Braxtonové a projevit jí city. Lady přesto nadále zůstává ve vězení i se svou služebnou Teresou a odmítá nabídky pomoci. Abych pravdu řekl, domnívám se, že tito nápadníci ve skutečnosti usilují o titul a peníze si na ilustrace. Co si o tom myslíte vy, pane Holmesi? Ústou inspektor Lestrade. A jdeme do těch zahrad. Nějaká dlouhá cesta. No hurá.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Takže já budu vyšetřovat krádežky.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What
can't
tragedy
really-
are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he
Aha.
died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the Colonial Collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that.
On nebude jenom
So
se
suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand. The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Do not touch.
Za tou vraždou něco bude, to nebude jenom prostě vyšetřování.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
The same.
The door was smashed at shoulder height.
To nebyla
This
tak
door
nějaká
handle
asi-
is new. It was recently changed.
To nebyla jen tak ledáká selší příhoda.
The esconson was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection room.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire. Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. These windows were perfectly cleaned. This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
A přece se nemohla vypařit ta sbírka jen tak.
The smell is strong. It is a detergent. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
A pro...
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Že by tu má někdo něco odnést? Tu ventilaci?
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
Rozráží dveře. Stráží květináč. Padá na hrazení. Jednoduché.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
Byla to vražda. Vypraveď pitvu Montague Dunneho. Jeho smrt je podezřelá. Proč vylamával dveře z místnosti s koloniálními sbírkami? Proč někdo sál, čistil a vynášel rostliny? Byla to pas nebo prostá nehoda? Jdeme provést pitvu. Pak se vrátíme.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Takže jdeme provést pitvu. Mr.
Holmes?
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. No redness, stings, or bruises. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination, so that we can proceed with the autopsy. Nothing suspicious here. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Jde se na pitvu. Samozřejmě, že to bude dělat pan Watson.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Aha.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
To srdce.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs. The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
Takže jenom prostě to poškození od té rostliny zatím.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
Samozřejmě.
More than a little.
Vrah u zámku Montague ukolonální sbírky, a kde se ředitel nadýchal jeho rostlinného plynu. Pane Lestrade.
Locked.
Tak jdeme do Gardens. Tam projít. Teďka, když už víme, že to byla vražda. Aha, my už jsme dojeli. Tak, pane Hamishi. Máme na vás pár otázek. A nejdřív uděláme ohledání. Jež ten je špinavý.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, a great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Jaký měl lifestyle?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and...
And...
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Takže děvkas.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Ukaž, kolik mám pro to. Už mých? Tady za tenhle... Typa dostanu 4. Takže pak už mi bude zbývat... Na poslední mi zbývají 3. No. A teďka můžu říct, že vrahem je zahradník. Protože nějaký zahradník to bude. Ne.
Water lily greenhouse. Colonial palm. Dry ventilation. Seed. Nursery. Director's office, cloakroom and laboratory. A map of Kew Gardens.
Co jsme tu ještě?
Reserve.
Už to máme.
Locked.
Musíme najít toho Duna, nebo prostě toho, co tu pomáhá.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Už jsme ho našli. Nejdřív si to tu prohlídnu.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
Tady nic není. Tak zase si vás vyprofilujem. Já budu prostě říkat vyprofilujem. A taky je svobodný.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
She is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
At the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. palm house.
Tak jo, tak jdeme do domu palem.
According to this, Water Lily Greenhouse.
Jo, tam jsem byl.
According to
No tak. Tady zmizely 3 věci.
Here is a list of the stolen plants. These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
According to this,
Tak,
dry tropics.
pak ne, něco si mluvil v suchých tropech. Tady za druhé má nic. Uhni vocne! Zavazíš.
Dry trop. There is a smell of burning.
Aha.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. A broom handle was half burned. The remains of a picture frame. A protective mask.
Aha, takže byl otravený plynem.
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Nikdo se zbavuje důkazu prostě.
The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Já najednou vidím z pohledu první osoby, jo. OK. Proč by ne? Paní Whiteová.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Já nechci. Ještě se tady porozhlédnu.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Aha. Jo, dobrý, teď to vidím. Už jsem myslel, že to
A
nevidím.
water tank.
Když to mám z pohledu první osoby.
Seed house. Open.
A je tu. Tak, pak máme na stole.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Zase stál jsem z první osoby.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir, and good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Takže, jestli si vás vyprofiluju. Co máte s rukama? Nic mi tu uniká. Jo, uniká mi to, že je svobodná, samozřejmě.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was
Takže někdo
cleared.
lže.
So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Teď to říkám, že někdo lže. It's obvious. Ještě jedna postava mi tu chybí.
What should we do next, Holmes?
A co na mě zaráží, že jsem stále v pohledu první osoby.
Nursery. Locked.
Locked out.
The seeds of plant species are stored here. The seed...
Zavazíte vocné. Aha, s ní bude chybět ten kousek, ne? Tady.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common. It is a bust of Montague Dunn. These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Kytky nikdy nebyly můj obor.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish.
Ale.
A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office. This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
A jsme venku.
Locked.
Lock, ale nemůže to. Otevřet to. Aha, Erky. Aha. Erkem se mění pohled.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Dobrá otázka.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Aha, to by. No samozřejmě.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes. A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Konec je na tomhle.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Co je tady?
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal.
Zase
Yet
výzkum.
I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Aspoň když najdeme valeček, víme, kde ho přehrát.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Tak, jaký měl známky? Ne, nemůžu se podívat, jaký měl známky. Škoda.
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Hehehe. To dlouho neměli. Ježiši. Tohle vypadá docela složitě, nebudu lhát. Let's go!
Open. Miss White's locker.
To máte ve šperkovnici.
These jewels must be worth
Jak
a small
nečekané.
fortune. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Drahá matínko a tatínku, ač je mi to velice nepříjemné, žádám vás o pomoc. Má studia i bydlení žádají si vyšších nákladů, než jaké jsem schopna zaplatit. Obávám se, protože o mnoho déle již z prostředky nevystačím. Vím, že jsme se v minulosti nepohodli, co pak byste ale dopustili, aby vaše dcera nedostudovala kvůli finanční tísni? Margaret. Drahá Margaret, vím, v jak složité finanční situaci se právě nacházíte. Ujišťuji vás, že nepřipustím, abyste nadále zůstávala rozpolcenou. Pocházím z bohaté rodiny a bude mi ctí, přijmete-li mou nabídku pomoci. Váš oddaný služebník Albert.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Margaret. Margaret. Překvapením jsme přijali tvé psaní. Jak jen nás může žádat o peníze po všech těch letech, po které si žila sama bez pomyšlení na nás? Nikdy se s námi nepodělala o své studijní úspěchy až nyní? Domnívá se, že se za nás snad stydíš, neboť nejsme z vyšších tříd, jako tví noví přátel. Ano, jsme obyčejní lidé, naši nejbližší pro nás, ale vždy byli na prvním místě. Nikdo z nás nepoškodil jméno rodiny tak, jako si to učinila ty, se svým nadřízeným panem Danem. Ne, Margaret, to my se stydíme za tebe. Tvoje rodiče. Takže máme motiv.
Martin Hamish's locker. Father and I, Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
Pane nejvyšší tajemníku, nedávné události v Kew Gardens nutí mě k opětovnému projevu zájmu o vedoucí pozici. Již v minulosti jsem opakovaně vyjádřil přesvědčení, že jsem na uvedenou funkci nejvhodnějším kandidátem. Dokud byl pan Montagdan živ, byla vaše zdrženlivost pochopitelná. Vaše důvody byly politické a já jsem se s radostí podvolil. Nyní se však zahrady Kew Gardens ocitají v rozkladu. Jak jen bych mohl stát opodál a přihlížet? Jak jen bych je mohl nechat v rukách neskušených jedinců bez motivace? Naléhám, rozhodněte rychle, abych se mohl zcela oddat šlechetnému poslání, které leží přede mnou a ulevit si od nejistoty.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces. Albert's locker. A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Královská námořní akademie náborové středisko Londýn. Pane, s lítostí vám oznamuji, že navzdory vynikajícím výsledkům, který jste u přijímacích zkoušek dostal, vás na Královskou námořní akademii přijmout nemůžeme. Váš otec, pan Montagdan, vyjádřil svůj úmysl svěřit vám v řízení královských botanických zahrad Kew a je zřejmé, že z tohoto důvodu by vás za účelem ročního výcviku nemohl postrádat. Přeji vám mnoho budoucích úspěchů v Kew Garden. S přátelským pozdravem J.M. Lemarchant, vedoucí výcvikového střediska Královské námořní akademie. Každý měl motiv. A nic mi zatím nestačí. Tak. Tak, teď si můžu s každým promluvit. Je vyžadován důkaz. Vocné do píče, vocné! Zavazíš. Jak něco.
Locked.
Tak nic. Sakra. Tak, na druhou stranu. Ale no tak. Tak teďka na druhou stranu. 2, 3, 4. Ale no tak. Raz, dva. Raz, dva. Raz, dva, tři. Raz, dva, tři. Raz, dva, tři, 4, 5. Let's go. Můj drahý příteli, dovolte mi prosím vyjádřit zklamání, které jsem pocítil při čtení vašeho dopisu. Platím vám, abyste mě bránil, nikoli obviňoval. Zahrady Garden jsou královskou institucí. Těšíme se, skvělé možnosti poznat svět a zachránit ty nejúžasnější cenné a jedinečné rostlinné druhy. Je naší povinností je chránit a bránit před těmi, kteří by je chtěli zneužít k nekalým účelům. Posvátný syndikát, na který se odvoláváte, nemá právo vlastnit tak cenné rostliny. Pamatujte případu z 14. června 1889. Tedy naléhám na vás úctivě, ověřte notářsky svolení pro zahrady Garden týkající se jmenovaných rostlin. Podklady vám byly zaslány v pondělí. PS, uvidíme se v úterý u Kobery, jako vždy. Pane Dune, naposledy vás žádáme, vraťte nám naše drahé sestry. Nemáte právo je držet v zajetí. Nepatří vám. Svolení, na které se odvoláváte, je výmyslem. Schváláte se za lež. Lež, o které se víc nerozepisujeme, popsaná byla tiskem jako případ z 14. června 1889. Počkej. To jsme tu už měli.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Úpis o dluhu slečny Margaret Whiteové vůči panu Montagu Dunevu. Pronájem pokoju na Oxford Street, školné na Londýnské univerzitě, účet v Hamiltonu, v Krejčovském salonu, Redigan House a ve zlatnictví Bird a synové. Margaret Whiteová byla při studiích i v životě zcela závislá na potřebě Montagu Duna.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish. Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Nový rostlinný druh. Pracovníci zahrad Kew Gardens s radostí oznamují, že se jim podařilo vypěstovat novou odrůdu česneku, která odolává mrazu. Nazývá se sibirský česnek. Pán Martin Hamish, hrdý pěstitel tohoto druhu, uspořádá o svém úspěchu příští pondělí tiskovou konferenci. Má nejdražší Margaret. Návaznosti na naše poslední setkání se domnívám, že bude vhodnější opustíte-li své zaměstnání zde v Kew Garden. Jak se trefně poznamená, mé podpory vám déle netřeba. Postaráte se o sebe sama, jak říkat. Inu, vrací vám svobodu a přeji vám mnoho štěstí. Slečna Whiteová a Dun se nedávno nepodle. Montague chtěl slečnu Whiteovu z Kewu propustit.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
What should we do next, Holmes?
No tak.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Vypadá to, že prodlída podle toho posledního dopisu.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
A co Ronald Hamish?
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
A když bude to další osoba? No to bude si tam mrtvola. Bych hádal. Protože už... Mě napadá, kdo by tady mohl se objevit.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall...
Albert měl motiv zabít svého otce, Montag Dene. Denny zmazil jeho sen o kariéře námořníka. Albert se mohl vraždou svému otci pomstit a moci jeho místo ředitele Gerd. Martin Hamish měl motiv. Byl přesvědčen, že život jeho i o jeho otce zmazil Dan, který si přisvojil uznání za jejich práci. Hamish se toužil stát ředitelem Gergardu, ale věděl, že dokud bude Dan živ, sen se mu nesplní. Tímto všechno je jednorodý, není to žádný rozhodování, to se mi moc nezdá. Jdeme za paní Whiteovou. A pak pro Tobyho.
Kew Gardens is such an exciting place.
Tak nic. Tak jdeme pro Tobyho. Tak to jdeš zase na výpravu.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Máme tu ještě nějaké důkazy, které bychom měli... Jo, archiv máme hodně důkazů, co hledat. Tak, jdeme na to. Ze 14. června... 14. června 1889. Skandál v posvátném syndikátu. Posvátný syndikát uctívačů boha, krále Trevena, ochránce rostlin a zejména stromů, který sídlí na nádrze stal se předmětem vyšetřování. Představitelé organizace jsou podezřelí z finančních machinací. Na základě vyšetřování může se případ dostat před královský soudní dvůr. Mnohé hlasy označují však postup úřadů za nestoudnou zlovůli státu. Pravdou zůstává, že členy této soukromé organizace, jež vytknula si za svůj cíl ochranu přírody, je řada předních osob v království.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have
Jo, tak to
against
bude-
Montague Dunn.
To bude to další osoba. Hledám vzácné rostliny botanika. Tyto rostliny vyznačují se rozličnou mírou toxicity. Dionera carnivus, nebudu to číst, celý. Lidskému zdraví nebezpečné jsou však jenom první tři, zejména pak florem diabolica, však pouze za určitých podmínek. Rostlina reaguje na dráždění, při které vypouští své smrtící spory.
Here it is.
Posvátného.
That is not... That...
Nepatří tento symbol značí cosi posvátného. Znaky tady, posvátný syndikát. Posvátný scholastický syndikát vegetativní venerace. Členové syndikátu uctívají Trevena, boha a krále, usilí o dosažení duševního míru a oproštění od hmotných statků. Příspěvky, které syndikát přijímají, jsou velmi
Here it
štědré.
is.
Vrahové mohli ukrást exotickou rostlinu včetně jedovatých druhů z výstavu v Kevgardu. No a nejdřív jdeme s Tobim do Kevgarden. Než se podíváme na tu novou adresu.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance.
Tak jo. Tak.
Search, Toby. Search.
Kam pak nás dovedeš? Vedeš. To vede?
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes, a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Means, jdeme na ten
If I
posvátný
go
symbol.
there, Toby will wait for me in the cab.
Budeme na posvátný syndikát.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Mám to pocit déjà vu z těchto místem. Že jsem to místo už někde viděl. V nějaké hře. Mám tu fakt velký pocit déjà vu. To píše. No to jsem tu hru nikdy nehrál.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
Aha.
A fragment of a flower pot.
Ne.
Good day to you, sir. My name is
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Takže ho vyprofilujem. A tetování. Aha, že by to byl on?
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation
Nerozumím mu ani
veneration
slovo.
and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Tak je to pošuk.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
Oh, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us
No, that's
3
not-
of our sisters for the exhibition at his greenfly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
On není vrah.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Jméno našeho pána. Trevan, nejvyšší z bohů.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh, la, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Zajímavý.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Zloděj posvátný. A už tu máme nějaký rozhodnutí. Smrtící rostliny patří posvátnému syndikátu, ten je mohl použít k vraždě Montaga. Ano, kromě smrtící. Jsem nechtěl. Tak jo.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of. It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
On to bude kokain.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food
A
for
počkej,
certain
ty
plants.
jsme tam
Let's
našli.
take them.
To jsme tam taky
A
našli.
tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Jsi tam spalovala.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them. A tropical
Taky nic.
a tropical
Ale tam ty jsou podobají těm, co se spalovali. A co tam byly vždycky pospalované.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god. This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
A jdeme to zase odemčít. Let's fucking go! A je to jednoduché. Tak co pak máme tady?
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
Ježiši.
This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. A vast amount of opium.
No. Jdeme na Baker Street, vrátit psa a zkoumat tam ten věc, pak si jdeme pokecat The Garden a musím si případ pomalu a jistě. Uzavřít případ a uzavřít tenhle stream. No, jo, jenom ten lávičku.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle. A colorless, water-based liquid.
To nám moc neřekl.
Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a
Jo, pipeta. Tak.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Připrav housenky a kloid z laboratoře a prověcíme se smrtícími.
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and food. Caterpillars should do nicely. According to the deadly plants information.
Chemická laboratoře. Aha, takže mám jít zase do Svaté laboratoře. Nebo svaté laboratoře, posvaté. No prostě tam. Mám pocit, že jsem se v tom docela zamotal. Nebudu lhát.
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
Tak jo, takže jdeme zase na Baker Street. Jdeme tam a jedeme zpátky a jedeme tam a jedeme zpátky.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
Tohle.
It appears I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
To musím taky. No tak dej to tam.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of... I wonder what
Ach jo.
It appears...
Je takhle, už to chápu.
It appears to open. It closed again. I believe I saw... I wonder what secrets this plant is...
Jak ještě vyspodrážet? Je takhle, že to musím prohodit, už chápu.
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant... Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary.
Nějak jsem to dokázal, ani nevím jak. Okay.
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Posvátný syndikát zanechal rostliny v Kew Gardens, aby s nimi později zavraždil. Kdo si ukradl rostliny předtím, než se o to pokusil posvátný syndikát? Tak jdeme vyslýchat. Nějak se v tom stále ztrácím nějak, tak trochu. Takže stále si nejsem jistý, kdo by měl být vrah. Všichni mají motiv.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Takže to nám nic neřeklo.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
Okay. To snad nedodělám.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Tak ještě paní Whiteová.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
But you say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Okay.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Utíká ze sálu. Vydechuje spory. Já ze sálu.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Okay. Já mám dělat. Co mám? Jo, já mám jít. Odkud vede ta tabule, jestli chápu. Oh, yeah. Ne, to jsem asi už mimo. Tak. Kde jsem mimo? A teď jsem zmatený.
These windows.
Mám prostě jít dál. Tak. Už to vidím. Yes, už to vidím. Čistě a jasně.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Jdeme dál, takže to musel být ten harbiš. Jdeme dál do ventilací.
Before starting the engine, the power is off. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
Takže teďka zase musím jít tam, kde jsem měl to okno.
Before I activate from here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
Takže tady ne, takže... Ne. Nursery, tady jsme to viděli, ne? Nursery.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
No.
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Aha, takže já jsem měl spustit. Tak to řeknu rovnou, ne?
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
Dobrý, nemusím tam běžet.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Albert Botany se příliš nezumí, těžko by zjišťuje, jak rostliny přímě vypustí do té spory. Znalosti, které se Whiteová získá na univerzitě nebezpečných. Whiteová ví, jak stimulovat smrtící rostliny. Marty Hamish měl příležitost stimulovat smrtící rostlin v koloniálních zvyklých. Jako biologii jistě věděl, jak postupovat. Vrahem by mohl být Martin Hamish. Mohl ukrást rostliny posvátného syndikátu a stimulovat je ze své práce hned poté, co ukolení sbírek zamkl Montagu a Daniel. Marty Hamish musí být za. Počkat, já si musím...
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Musím něco zjistit o paní Whiteové. Jako, to jinak nejde, protože tam nemám žádnou jinou možnost než... Já mám pocit, že mi něco uniká, že jsem něco minul. Nějaký důkaz. Že takhle můžu zatknout jenom Hamiše. A všechno jsem získal. A jdeme za Lestrádem.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Já se cítím stejně nejistě jako včera. To už nevěsí nic dobrého. No tak naštěstí tak.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Počkej, který je velký skleník. Jo, vy jste v Watson. Jo, je to ten... To jsem myslel. Tak, jdeme za panem Hamishem.
Holmes, my God!
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
No.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Život stal se mi peklem, nemohu ho déle snášet. Dnes si smrt zasloužil, jeho krev ze svých rukou, ale smí nedokážu. My Hamishové stáváme se často obětmi okolností. A já nejsem výjimkou, musím pikat teď a tady s Bohem.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Martin Hamish nemohl kvůli přetočení oholeně a sloní noze běžet. Musíme zjistit, zda měl dostatek času zamknout dveře ukolených sbírek a spustit větrák. Měl komplice? Určit se události, kterým došlo v den vraždy.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Martin Hamish a Montague se vydali za Albertem do skladiště. Martin Hamish a... Ježiš, mě se do toho nechce. Albert byl celé ráno ve skladišti semen. Všiml si Hamishe, když se vracel slečny. 10 minut po 10. Hamish doběhl pro Alberta, jak se všiml, že Montague se necítí dobře, což bylo kolem 10:30. Hamish doběhl pro Alberta. Martin Hamish vozil se slečnou Whiteovou v 10 hodin. Slečna Whiteová se... slečna Whiteová se pojedná s Martinem 10 hodin. Slečna Whiteová se v laboratoři zdržela do 10:40. Tedy si v vlakínovém skleníku všimla Hamishe a Alberta a připojila se k ním. Bylo přibližně za 20 minut 10, když Hamish a Montague vyšli na dvorek. Za 20 minut 10, což znamená tak. Po 10 minutách Dunn pokračoval ve své obhlídce a vstoupil do suchých tropů. Hamish se vrátil do skladiště semen. Po 10 minutách. Tak. Martin Hamish a Montague se vydali za Albertem do skladiště kolem 9:30. Martin Hamish Všiml si Hamishe, když se vracel o slečny Whiteové 10 minut po 10. Albert potká Montague, Dannyho a Martyho v domě semen. Takže nám zbývají, kde byl otráven. Když tam Whiteová se Martin Hamish a Montague kolem 9:30. Počkej. Jak počkej, no. To ještě něco. A... kolem 10:30. Takhle by to mohlo být.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Martin Hamish a Albert nejsou komplice. Albert pravděpodobně neměl příležitost čin uskutečnit 10 minut by na zamčení do jazyky kolonální zbytku nestačil. Albert byl komplicem Martina Hamishe, 10 minut by mu stačilo, aby se vydal samot. Slečna Whiteová měla 20 minut, dost na uvěznění Montague. Mohla zamknout dveře a dát znamení Martinu Harishovi, aby spustil větrání. Martin Hamish, slečna Whiteová nejsou komplicové. Já nevím. Ale jo, ono. Meg Whiteová pomohla Martinu Hamishovi zvraždit Montague. Její kariéra i svý život trpěli rozchodem s Danem. Což tam Whiteová je nebezpečná žena, schopná vraždit pod peníze. Sváděla Dannyho syna Alberta a později přinutila Martina Hamishe k sebevraždě, zasluhuje a prát. Nucela být po vůli boháčů, když Den odmítl život po ní skončil. Tohle. Tak sváně jsem se trefil. Já jsem si říkal, že mi tam něco nebylo. Tohle byl docela složitý případ. Zabralo mi daleko víc času, než jsem chtěl a čekal.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining, the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Ježiš. Musíte se všichni snažit spáchat sebevraždu.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Oh shit. Já jsem mačkal Ečko místo Včko, do piče! To jsem nechtěl.
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
Ale bylo to správně. Bylo to správně. Ale já nechci, aby spáchal jsem vraždu. Ale aspoň jsem to odhalil správně, že Albert je v tom nevinně. Dělej, načti se, nemám na tebe celou noc, do píče. Tohle už mě začíná Teďka bude další načítání. Super, zbožňuju, miluju. Nemám totiž času, habaděj. Vůbec nebude už půlnoc, do píče.
But Holmes...
Mr. Holmes.
Tak, Bčko. Musím mačkat Bčko. Ne Ečko, Bčko.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Co jsem podělal tentokrát, do píče?
This is tragic, Holmes.
Ale no tak. Já ju chci zachránit. Kurva. Teď se to zase bude půl dne načítat. Tak. Obvinit slečnu Whiteovou. Počkej, než se to znovu načte, jak úplný kokot, mě už to sere. Tak.
But Holmes...
Teďka už to zvládnu.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
A přes to půjdu.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Ale čo do píče, minule jsem kliknul, bylo to špatně, teď jsem neklikl, bylo to špatně, tak já nevím, co dělám špatně, do píče, já se ale nevzdám. Polovinu času strávím jenom skurveným načítáním, protože se musí načíst to, kde jsem skončil. Teda musí se načíst ta Cavalry Garden, tam musím dát to, že ji odsuzuju, tam pak se musí načíst ta druhá lokace, kde s ní půjdu. Kurva, mě to sere. Jenom kvůli tomu, že nechci, aby spáchala sebevraždu do píče. Tu strávím polovinu. Půl dne jen načítání. Tak. Čup. A jdeme na další načítání. Protože proč ne? Proč mít jedno načítání, když můžete mít dvě? A vocne, tentokrát to neposer.
But Holmes...
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this
Vocne,
foolishness.
tentokrát to
You
nepůjdělej.
cannot truly want to die.
No,
Závisí to jen na
it's too
tobě.
late.
Let's go! Hurá!
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Přímo od rozhodnutí. Nestranný. No. A tohle by, pokud se nepletu, měl být poslední případ. Ten další. A ten si necháme na zítra. Jen trošku.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, Frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
No. Co tu máme za dopis ještě? Se podívám. Senzace. Exotický způsob vraždy. Arzenál moderních zločinců může se rozšířit o jedovaté rostliny. Mladá a krásná žena ve spolčení se svým kolegou ze zahrady v Kev zosnovala strašnou vraždu ředitele, pana Montaga Denny. Jediný detektiv dokázal vysvětlit tragédii, jejíž příčinu spatřovali zpočátku mnozí v prosté srdeční přírodě. Tím detektivem byl Sherlock Holmes. Kde je peson? Já chci vidět ještě pesana. Tady.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
Tak, ale to si necháme na někdy příště. Dneska už to šlo, dneska jsem nechyboval jako včera. Teda kromě těch postřehů, ale to se stává. Takže já jsem happy. Happy. Tak jo, já doufám, že se vám ten nosím byl a budu se nás těšit zase někdy příště. Mějte se zatím. Adios. End.